Hello dear students, today we're going to have a reading lesson called Life on Earth 100 Years from Now. Let's take a look at our objectives. First we're going to skim the article to understand the main idea of the passage. Then we're going to scan the article to locate specific information in the passage. And then we're going to identify the synonyms and antonyms of vocabulary in the passage. First, let's take a look at some common environmental problems we face every day. First, the use of factories releases fumes which causes air pollution. Then we have people cutting trees all the time, which leads to global warming. This means the globe is becoming warmer and warmer every day. Then we have people always throwing rubbish in the sea, and this causes water pollution. Now, let's take a look at our article in our student book, page 62. The title of the article is Life on Earth 100 Years from Now. So the passage is about how people think that the Earth will be 100 years from now. In the introduction, they introduce the main reasons for environmental problems, and then they introduce the second section of the reading passage. In the second section of the reading passage, we have predictions of two futurologists. Futurologists are people that predict what will happen in the future. So we have the opinion of Jake Davis and Nicola Brand. I want you now to skim the passage and decide which futurologist prediction is pessimistic and which is optimistic. By pessimistic, we mean which futurologist has a negative view of Earth in the future, and which futurologists is optimistic, which means has a positive view of Earth in the future. So which futurologist do you think has a pessimistic view? Excellent, it's Jake Davis. If you take a look at the passage, he says things like, there won't be enough food and resources for everyone. He also says that the Amazon rainforest will disappear completely and the area will turn into a desert. And he says that the ice poles will melt and sea levels will rise. These are all pessimistic views. Who do you think has an optimistic view? Excellent, it's Nicola Brand. If you take a look at her passage, she says that people will use alternative energy sources. It means they will use other energy sources like solar power and wind power. She also says in the future, scientists will control the weather by using technology. All these are more of positive views. Now let's scan the passage and read more in detail to solve the questions in exercise C. Let's take a look at number 1. It says, blank exists because of our way of life. So what exists because of our way of life? Let's take a look at the introduction. What does it say? It says, our way of life has caused many serious environmental problems. So, because of our way of life and throwing things in the sea and the use of factories, we have caused environmental problems. So the answer here is going to be environmental problems exist because of our way of life. Number 2, it says humans produce a lot of blank. What do humans produce? Let's take a look at, again, the introduction. If you take a look at this part, it says, we use huge quantities of natural resources and produce too much rubbish. So humans produce a lot of what? Rubbish. Number 3, according to Davis, people won't have enough blank or blank. So what won't people have enough of? Let's take a look at Davis's section in the passage. Take a look at the first paragraph. It says, there won't be enough food or resources for everyone. By resources, we mean things like water and electricity and so on. So here the answer will be people won't have enough food or resources. Number 4, he also believes that blank, the ice at the poles, blank, and some islands won't exist 100 years from now. So what won't exist 100 years from now? Let's take a look at Jake Davis's part of the passage. In the second paragraph, he says the Amazon rainforest will disappear. So the first answer here will be the Amazon forest. The second part, it says, some cities in coastal areas will flood and disappear. So they will not exist 100 years from now. So the second answer is some cities in coastal areas. By coastal areas, we mean the cities next to the sea. Number 5. According to Brand, scientists will be able to stop some blank from happening by using blank. Here we will take a look at Nicola Brand's part of the passage. In the second paragraph, she says, they will use technology to prevent natural disasters. Prevent means to stop. Natural disasters means things like earthquakes, flooding, and so on. So the answer here will be, scientists will be able to stop some natural disasters from happening by using what? Using technology. Number 6. She also believes that the earth will be greener and blank will become forests. By she, we're still talking here about Nicola Brand. So what will become forests, or what will turn into forests? Take a look at the last paragraph. She says, most of the world's deserts will turn into forests. So here, the correct answer is deserts. Now, let's solve exercise D. In exercise D, we will be looking at some synonyms and antonyms of some words in the passage. First, what are synonyms? Synonyms are two words that have the same meaning. For example, happy and glad. Both of them have the same meaning. Let's take a look at the synonyms in the introduction part of the passage. Number 1, amounts. Amounts means numbers. Which word in the passage has the same meaning as amounts or numbers? Quantities. We use huge quantities of natural resources. It means we use a big number or big amount of natural resources. Number 2, waste or litter. Waste or litter means trash or rubbish. We produce too much rubbish. Number 3, opinions. Opinions means what we think. If you take a look at the last sentence, it says, we asked 2 futurologists their views about life. It means what they think or their opinions about life. Number 4, worldwide. Here the answer is in Davis's part of the passage. Worldwide means something that we can find all around the world. Same meaning as global. The global population will increase. It means the people living around all of the world. Number 5, for example. Here the answer is in Nicola Brand's part of the passage. What's a synonym for example? Such as. She says people will use alternative energy sources such as, or for example, solar power and wind power. So the correct answer is such as. Now let's take a look at antonyms. What are antonyms? Antonyms are 2 words that have opposite meanings. For example, happy and sad. Here, happy and sad have the opposite meaning. Now, let's take a look at the antonyms for the words below. Here, all of the answers are in Davis's part of the passage. Number 6, decrease. Decrease means to go down. The opposite of decrease is increase, to go up. The global population will increase. The population will go or will become higher. Number 7, exactly. Exactly means a specific amount. What is the opposite of exactly? Approximately, about. Here it says that the population will reach approximately 16 billion, about 16 billion. Number 8, low. What is the opposite of low? Excellent, high. The last word is clean. What is the opposite of clean? The opposite of clean is polluted. Polluted means not clean. It says air pollution will keep increasing and people will suffer because of the polluted air. Because of the air that is not clean, people will become sick. We have come to the end of our lesson. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed the lesson.